Hi guys, my name is Desiree at I'll See You in the Barn today. So we got new horses inside the end pen. So we got 2 halflingers, they're sisters, and we have the 2 Belgian drafts that came in on Wednesday along with Nick, that we got Shu, and then we also got Vivid and Victoria. Victoria is getting her feet done, so we're gonna get her feet trimmed. We have the donkeys. The donkeys, we're gonna still do x-rays on them on Friday to see where they at. Then we'll transition to inside donkey pen. The only thing with the one stud, we might have to keep him in there for a while because we don't want any babies inside donkey pen. We don't want that. So we need to cut him. And then for my doctoring out here, I'm trying to milk the chast since it's just farrier day today. No vet today. Jesse that we just work in, he has scratches. We're getting it early. I hate scratches out here for the Belgian drafts just because in the summer, eggs goes in it and it caused 5 eggs. A few other horses, they had it. It took 6 months to get that going. And we caught it early, so it's small, but it's still getting another one. As long as we get it early enough and get it treated and everything going, hopefully it goes away.
My name's Mackenzie. I volunteer at the barn. I help Desiree doctor animals, groom them, walk them, whatever she needs. I started like mid-November and I would come out every Sunday, but recently I started coming out during the week too. So my aunt, since she was little, she always worked with horses. So because of her, I liked horses and I would work with them too when I was younger. I found out by my aunt. My aunt, she volunteered here, but for a couple years she's been volunteering, so I just started coming out with her. I like it because I feel very comfortable with the horses and I just feel super calm here and I just love doing it. And also I like to learn about them. I want to go to vet school, so being here, Desiree, she teaches me about doctoring the horses and that would really help for vet school, like learning about them and how to take care of them and stuff.
Good morning, everyone. It's Tiffany with All Seated in a Barn. This morning, we're starting a new series called Round Pen Discussions. Our first topic is going to be how to pet a horse. As many of you may think you know how to pet a horse, today we're going to go over the specifics on how to. A lot of us come up to our horse and we say, "Great job, good job." But what if instead we were like, "Good job, great job"? What a difference of my energy from going bam, 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 bam to a smooth stroke, just like a mother's lick. So that's what we always want to mimic when we're petting our horse. It's a smooth stroke, it's low energy, and it's the reward that your horse is looking for. When we're riding their backs or we're approaching them in their stall or in the pasture, so many times, myself included, I always catch myself saying, "Great job." But see how he already changed his behavior. He's looking at me being like, "Hey, why'd you have to hit me so hard?" His ears went back as soon as I made that noise. And so he wants to know, why so much pressure? Why, when we can do a stroke, which they love, you can see how soft he remained the whole time. He didn't look at me, he didn't pin his ears back. Versus when I go, "Good job, good job." And so now his ears are back and he's looking at me. And so that is a great example of why you would want to do a stroke versus a pat. And this is a new horse in my lineup. This is Blaze, so we're still creating our relationship together. I actually really appreciate that he's looking at me like that because he's trying to figure out what I'm doing. We've only had a few sessions together and he's looking and chewing to be like, "Yeah, what is this crazy lady doing?" And so we've only had a few sessions together, and so we're still establishing our communication and our relationship. And so with Blaze, having a soft hand and giving him these smooth strokes will allow him to trust me more in moments when trucks are pulling in or the dumpster is doing the garbage or, when landscapers are around. So in all of these situations where the energy might be increased, you want to remain a really solid, grounded leader for your horse. By emphasizing on how you touch them, you'll create a better relationship. And of course, whatever you do to one side, you always want to do to the other. So I'm just going to remain consistent with my hand and just give him slight strokes. And I'll do this on their back and on the ground. And so next time you're in the saddle and you want to tell your horse that they did a great job, pause before you give them a pat and stroke them instead.
My name is Kendall. Right now what I'm doing with the barn is just helping Talia with some of the horses that need evaluations so that we can see what they know and what they need work on and help them to be their best selves for their new homes. I work at the location where they were at last time before this, so that's how I knew Jacob and Talia and everybody. I pretty much grew up doing this up in the mountains, just been doing this my whole life and working with the problem horses and stuff there, and then working with ranch horses. My love for horses is you know, they're just so honest, and I feel like we're put here to kind of shepherd them and take care of them on their journey. I'm really excited and happy being able to help as many horses as I can. I mean, it's amazing just to be able to work with so many horses and kind of help them with their problems and get them through everything.
Hi, I'm Walker Reynolds. I'm the farrier out here at All Seated, and today we're working on a horse named Nick. And he came in, I got some x-rays on him. He's foundered in one foot and he's pretty underslung, negative palmar angle in the other, and he's just really sore. So today we're just gonna try to get some shoes on him, put some Equipack in there to keep him from packing up in the stall. You can pick the feet out and then they walk in their stalls and they just pack right back up, and he just can't take the pressure at all. So today we're gonna do that and he should be good to go. And today we used a plastic mesh to pour our Equipack. A lot of times I use the fabric with some spray glue. Today I ran out of the glue, but I always carry the extra plastic ones that you just rivet on. And I like the mesh one better because it's easier, but these ones work great and especially work good whenever you're out of glue. Normally we'll use the cloth mesh, but every once in a while you get a horse that just constantly keeps ripping that mesh out, and that mesh is just held on by a little glue and then the nails in the shoe holding it together to the foot. But sometimes you'll get a horse that just keeps ripping it out. So then that's when I go to riveting on those plastic pads, and they don't rip those off at all.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm just gonna put this horse into the round pen and kind of just move him around, get him reconnected to me. And he's gonna be ground driving today. So he's just started his halter breaking. I think he's been halter broken stuff before. He's pretty smart. They used to show him leading him, but never riding him. So that's what we're gonna work on. We're gonna teach him how to ride. And he's a little nervous, so he's working on confidence. His name is Aurelius, and he's an Andalusian. So he's a gorgeous horse. I've been working with him for a couple of days, but when he got here, they hadn't done a lot with him. I think just basically halter breaking. And so like right now why he's going back and forth is because he's just a little nervous about where he's going. So I'm doing the zigzag motion just to get him forward, moving forward. It's redirecting his feet. So he doesn't know that it's not like going straight for the round pin, but we're just kind of getting him there slowly. And you hear that little noise he's making, that's with his nose. He's just a little nervous about everything. But as long as we stay calm and keep to the task, we'll get there. Yeah, it's really important to have patience and be calm around the horses, because in the wild, the herd will sync their heart rate to the lead horse's heart rate, so that when that horse's heart rate gets raised, their heart rate's elevated. So if he feels my heart rate is high and I'm nervous, he won't know why. He'll just know that there's danger around. So if I stay calm, then he'll have a lot of trust in me, which will build confidence in him, which is what we need right now. And like I could take him and turn him loose in here and he could run around and stuff, but I kind of want him to remain under control and relax, opposed to just starting off trotting. So that's why I'm doing a lot of direction changes and a walk, just so that he feels a connection with me and he feels trust and confidence in what we're doing.
My name is George Magana, and I'm an intern here at All Seated in the Barn.
My name is Francisco.
Basically, we just come out on the weekdays and help out Des with whatever she needs. So if it's whether doctoring the horses or cleaning the pens, you know, we're just here to help her out. And we're from ROC, and it's part of our grade, so we just come out here and we help. It's pretty cool hanging out with all the animals. ROC is the Regional Occupation Center, and it's like classes that you could go take. So if you have free periods at your home school, they offer you classes at ROC. So you could do like welding, livestock, diesel mechanics, and a bunch of stuff like that. We're doing livestock management, so on our second semester we're supposed to go out and intern places, and we chose here at All Seated in the Barn because we liked what they were doing here, saving the horses and stuff. Yeah, me personally, I'm trying to be a livestock vet. I know he said he was also trying to work with animals, so that's why we're here to just get more hands-on experience, so then when we go out and apply for college, it's better on our resume. Like I said before, we've learned how to doctor the horses, so like the cuts that they have on their legs and stuff, we've learned how to treat them. We've also learned how to treat the eyes, because a couple of the horses, they have like cloudy eyes, so we had to put medicine like eye drops or something. Lamoris was the mini that we were just working on. She knows what we're doing, so he just kind of, he goes in the corner and just sits there. He ran to the shade when he saw us. He just wanted to be in the shade. We just put the lead rope around him, like nothing tight. It's literally just like, it's like this on him. So he just sits there. We just pick up his hooves. We use the scraper to take like all the mud off of him. Just so then once we put the medicine, because he has soft hooves, we're supposed to put this to help it.
This is so fun. We have an audience today. I'm really on the spot. I feel like a news anchor. Good morning, everyone. It's Tiffany and Desiree with Albert. We are gonna do a little farrier training today. This is something that we like to work on so that our horses stand still and patiently for our farrier and for their potential adoptees. What we're doing with Albert is the first thing we wanna do is make sure that they're standing relatively square. If they're standing in a position where they're like this, it's gonna be impossible to ask them to pick up a leg because they're not standing very balanced. I need to catch my breath 1 second. I did a slight jog. Woo!
Really?
Swear. Now that he's standing a little bit more square, the main thing that we want to pay attention to is putting our shoulder into his shoulder to off balance him to release his foot. A lot of times we see people bending down and pinching down here or grabbing their heel down here. And so he did give it to me, but we want it in a nicer, gentler way. So by putting your shoulder into their shoulder, you're asking them to shift their balance and to pick up their leg. So I come here, you can see there's no gap between my shoulder and his shoulder. And you saw how Albert just shifted his weight and beautifully picked up his foot for me. That's exactly what we want to see. Oh boy. So now that he did the first foot, wonderful, we're gonna move on to the second. The hind is a little bit more challenging for Albert because he has to understand that he needs to shift his weight in order to pick up his hind leg. And when he picks it up, it's a little uncomfortable for him. So I make sure that I don't pick it up all the way, just a little bit at a time so that he becomes comfortable with lifting up his hind legs. Boy. And so that was wonderful progress from the beginning working with him starting last week. So that was a great win for me on his hind leg. When you're walking behind a horse, it might seem counterintuitive to want to stay as far away from their hind legs as possible. But actually, you want to be as close as possible to prohibit their legs from fully extending. You're going to get a way worse injury than if you actually stayed closer, prohibiting them from fully extending. So I came around the back, now we're at the front. So we're gonna do the same thing. My shoulder is gonna go into his shoulder to off his balance to release that front foot. Good boy, good boy. And so even though I didn't hold it up the whole time because I saw him already starting to shift his weight, that was a good win for me. He immediately on my cue picked up his leg, and although he had to readjust his hind legs, that's still great progress for us. Perfect, so Des just backed him up so that he's a little bit more square to release his leg for the pickup. Good boy. And then we put it down. Good boy. And then we come to our hind leg. And it's a little bit different than the front leg where you have such close contact with their shoulder. Here you want to stand just adjacent to their leg. Hey. And so that is Albert saying, hey, I'm uncomfortable with that. So we're just gonna go back and gently ask for his leg again. And so just like when we're on the horse, we're gonna back him up a few steps. And then we're going to re-ask. We want to get to a point where they don't have to kick out. Or if we were in the saddle, we don't want them to get to the point where they explode. And so I just want to be able to come here now and get to a point where he's not already picking up his leg, anticipating my ask. So I just want to come in here really soft and gentle. I want him to know that I'm not asking anything of him. I just want to stand here safely. And you can see how he had already picked up his leg, but I didn't do anything. So he's anticipating the ask. And so a great tool that you can use is your lead rope to ask for their hind legs to keep you a little bit safer, because you would be able to stand here and ask for the give with pressure with a lead rope. And so these are all different things that you can try with a horse. So for me now, I'm gonna grab a lead rope and practice with his hind leg just to keep me a little bit more safe, because he's clearly expressing that he's uncomfortable with me being back there today. But that's not his usual reaction. And so I'm just going to listen to what he's saying right now. I'm gonna grab a lead rope and I'm gonna ask him to give me his leg via the lead rope, and then that will conclude today's session for the farrier. We never wanna burn out our horses with what we're teaching them, just like we wouldn't wanna burn out a student that's learning something at class. So I gently put the lead rope around him. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand back here or up near his shoulder, and on my cue, I'm gonna put pressure, cluck, good. And he picked it up at the immediate second that I put pressure. And so as soon as he gave the leg, I released and put it back down so that he knows he responded correctly. And as you could see, he didn't kick out and he didn't swing his tail, which tells me he's a little bit more comfortable with this today than he is with me being back there. Okay, that was a hard pull, so he's clearly irritated. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna restart and try it again. What happens when we have a horse that doesn't like to stand for the farrier? The first option is we can give them some happy juice, but we pair that up with working with them the 6 weeks in between their next farrier session. And so when we first get a horse in and we realize, or we learn the hard way, that they don't like to stand for the farrier, we will give them some happy juice to just relax and stand still, knowing within the next 30 to 60 days, we're gonna be holding farrier sessions so that they become more comfortable with the farrier and with their potential new adoptee being around their feet. And so with Albert and with many of our other horses, we don't want to have to use happy juice, but sometimes we do, because it means protecting us and protecting our farrier. And so the goal always is to be able to do their feet without any sedation. So what we like to do is with our babies, all of them are in farrier training, but with an older guy like Albert, maybe someone didn't take the time with them when he was young to do that. And so we accept them where they are, and we try to improve them to get better.
Mike, Natalia, and Layla just came to check it out. They're just got their first horses, and Eleonora told us about this place, so we had to come and see what's going on out here and see how they're rescuing horses. A friend of mine, Eleonora, we were chatting about horses, and she said we need to come check it out. Well, that there's a lot of abused horses, and places like this are good. Just exposing them to more horses, and we've got 2 horses. One's a thoroughbred that used to be a racehorse that was malnourished and nursed back, and then the other one, Buck, is a 23-year-old little fat boy. So.
My name is Terry, and I've been here with All Seated in the Barn probably over 5 years now. This morning I'm going to go in with a horse named Paris. She's been here about a month with us, and we think she's pregnant because she was real skinny, and now she's getting fatter, but in a round way that doesn't look like hay. So we think she has a baby belly instead. And she's very timid and shy. It takes her a long time to trust and to warm up to you, and I've been told once she trusts you, then she'll let you pet her and love on her. This will be my 4th time in with her, and so far she's let me scratch her nose and her cheeks. So that's where we'll start today, just to see how she accepts me today and keep building that bond.
Hi guys, it's Maddie here at All Seated in the Barn. So now we're having Path Point organization come 2 times a week. And so 2 different groups. My normal group that has been coming for about 2 years now, they're switching to Thursdays. And now I have a new group that are coming on Wednesdays. And these guys are more for the work experience and learning new things. They did work at another barn in Bakersfield. And so a lot of them had experience with horses and they know the cues. We just kind of go over everything again and make sure everyone is aware, of our surroundings. And then today we had a few of them. I was with them. We're cleaning up the quarantine pen just to make sure they know our standards of how clean we want everything, where to dump everything, what tools to use during this process. And then we have others that are sweeping out the barn again. That's a never-ending job around here. What we're doing here with this work experience program is just helping them, you know, be able to get into the real world and get a real job. From here, we're using our social skills to talk to one another, team building. They have to work with one another and with everybody else here at the barn. They have to follow directions, so that's a big thing we have to make sure is happening. It can be an unsafe area at sometimes here with these horses because they are abused and neglected. And so it's a different setting than what they came from at the other barn where they're more trained in physical therapy horses. And here, you know, we have our abused, neglected, or just trying to get back into the normal routine of having a nice person. So that's a big thing here is communication and listening and following directions, and which goes on to any job, right? That's something that we are trying to help them do. And they've been doing really well. Everyone today has been fine. They're all wanting their jobs right away. They were so excited when they got here just to get to work. And I said, next time you guys can come to my house and you can clean.
My name is Shay. I am volunteer site where I learn picking up the horses and then stay focused on the horses. They pay attention to going around the horses. I'm having a good old time. Stay positive, stay productive. Make me relax, calm, and we think about stuff together. I love the scenery and stuff like that. Having a good attitude, relationships, and bond with my peoples.
The best way to support us is always through donations, whether that be product that we need or monetary. And you can do that by joining our Patreon, going to the website, or visiting any of our social media platforms for links on the best ways to help us.